had a really fascinating deal a couple years ago. A lady in Lake Dallas called me probably about 10:30 at night and said she had a house that was going to auction on Tuesday morning. She had about $80,000 in property tax liens and she was going to lose the house. And she figured the house was worth about $200,000. So of course I was interested in that. And I said, okay, let me do some work. Let me go come out and I'll meet you at your house with a contract. Now, I don't like going out to people's houses, and I will never go out to a lady's house alone in the middle of the night. So I had one of my investors meet me out there and we made the offer. So I wanted to buy the house from her. Of course, there's $100,000 in equity. Why would I not want the house? And she was willing to sell it to me if she could stay in the house. Now, one thing I know about people is they don't change their spots. So otherwise, if they haven't made the payments in the past, they probably won't make the payments in the future. But I also am willing to give people a second and third chance. So I made the offer that said, I'll buy your house, and if I'm successful in buying your house, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lease it back to you. I will lease it to you and I will make my standard amount of money every month. And then if you pay all the monthly payments on time, at the end of the year, I'll sell it back to you at a discount from the market, but with my usual profit. And she was willing to accept that. So that night we signed a contract for me to buy the house for what she owed, which is about $79,000. And we signed a lease that says if I'm successful in buying the house, I'm going to lease it back to her for about $1,500 a month, which is still about $600 below the market rents in that area. But I was still making about $300 a month, so I was happy with that as a profit. Now, I wake up on Friday morning, I need to find $80,000 to buy this house. And I have to find it in 2 days and fund it by Monday morning so I can buy the house. So I immediately started getting on the phone and asking anybody that I knew. Finally on Saturday I was at a party and I was basically asking anybody at the party, do you know where I can borrow $80,000? I'll pay 9% interest on it, you get the first lien on the house. I'll pay it back over X month at X amount payments. And I got a phone call from somebody who had a friend who was looking to invest some money. So I was able to arrange to borrow the money. They brought a cashier's check to the attorney's firm first thing on Monday morning, and we were able to stop the foreclosure. So I ended up buying the house for $79,000. So now I own the house. I owe about $80,000 because I just rounded it up, paid for some of the closing costs, and I'm making $300 a month. Now this lady, true to form, made the rent payments for a couple of months and then she stopped. I had to try to go through 3 or 4 evictions. Finally, I ended up evicting him and I had to take the house back. Now, I hate taking houses back from any of my clients. I got in this business to help people. But at the same time, I can't afford for people to live in a house for free where I'm paying the underlying mortgage. That's not good business. And I deserve to make a good living and take care of my family at the same time. So when she was not paying the rent, I ended up having to evict her. I got the house back and ended up selling it and ended up making about $130,000 profit on the house. Now that was a really great deal. I love that amount of money I got, but here's the important thing. I went in with a unique offer, and because I allowed her to stay in the house, she went with me versus all the other offers. She had other investors offering to buy the house at $100,000, $125,000, but all of them wanted her to leave immediately. I was the only one that gave her the option to stay in the house. And because I solved her problem and gave her another chance to keep the house, she took our offer. So when you go in and you're making the offers, always look how to solve their problems. If you can solve your seller's problems, generally you'll end up with a successful deal.